Luminaughts. Today, I have written a short story inspired by the last 90 pages of the book, The Witching Hour, which, as it so happened, I haven't read, for the book vanished from my possession inexplicably before I could finish reading it. During the weekend days, Shiaryu enjoys filling her watering pot and taking it to the dust bowl in the backyard of the abandoned house down the street during the day. She does not visit the place at night because spirits change their proclivities once dusk settles to dark. Shiaryu noticed these changes earlier than most people do, so she finds sanctuary in what she knows, remembering not to forget what to know and forgetting to remember what isn't serving her interests on the altar of the collective, or what the consensus holds in safekeeping should her needs require their forthcoming. She trusts and builds as home during these hours. Should she venture forth into the night alone, she is responsible and sure to call in her guardian spirits to accompany her. In the backyard of the abandoned house, the sun bakes the area. Shiaryu wets the dirt down in patches. The blanched, sun-bleached dirt becomes a darker mud. Within a small handbasket accompanying her other arm during her short block or so long walk to her sacred site, she brings various ground spices from her adoptive parents' cupboards and sprinkles them in specified pools of the mud. This gives her patches what she holds in mind as the hourglass of falling sands that settles specialized energies into the patches. Then she adds the cornmeal and the gelatin packets to all the patches and begins to sculpt her mud puppet dolls. She plays and narrates for these dolls for many hours before and after sneaking home for the luncheons her parental units provide. By the end of these summer days, she folds all of her characters in a small special tablecloth her parent bought her for her asking while they visited a local thrift shop. She places them in her basket, and with her empty watering can, Shiaryu then leaves the abandoned house's backyard and makes her way to the small local community park around the way. There, she fills her watering pot with water from the park, as it has a small creek that runs through it. And she likes bringing this special water home to water the flowers her parents grow in their meager lawn out front. She likes imagining how they may appreciate how different the waters from the creek may be appreciated compared to the fluoride and chlorine-tainted city tap waters. Once her spout fountain is full, she removes her small bundled tablecloth, and with its contents remaining inside, she submerges them together in the creek water, letting them soak in the slow drifting current for a spell to osmosify the moistures. After a span of a few minutes, she reaches down into the creek waters with both hands and kneads the bundle gently. As she does this, her little family of dolls are released into the currents of the stream as a cloud of murkiness that drifts slowly away to settle into the river of life where kisses oceans of elsewhere. Once her cloth is clean and no longer releasing muddy waters, she removes it from the creek and brings it free of its excess wetness to a damp state. Folding it up, she places it in the basket and lifts it with her watering canteen in balancing of each to another at hand, and makes her way home to water her friends out front before making her way inside to see what the parental units may have procured for dinner that evening. Shiaro does this every weekend of every summer throughout her preteen childhood years. As a teenager, she forgets as she becomes more socially integrated and her weekends fill up with other activities. She is always sure to invest in her memories, though, of her friends downstream and what they may be up to. She likes to fall asleep this way if she can, every night. There is likely quite obviously the conclusion of my short story here. As I read her books, most of some of them at any rate, I learned to appreciate the movies she created in the omniverse of my mind's eye before witnessing reenactments by thespians of theater. Anne Rice influenced my creativity's beginning around the ripening years of about 18 or 19, when I was definitely more or less of a young stir in the mud. I loved how her imagination inspired the unfurling mystiques of whom I continue to become. And I hope you have people whose shares you may similarly covet in such loves as I've hereby shared. Thanks for joining me in this Freaky Friday Storytime edition of Illuminati Productions' makeshift stagecraft theater of the muddied mind. Here are some parting mantras I hymn to my own practices, usually during showering the day's sweat from my naked animated corpse. Prithvi, Gname Swami, Hana, Mana, Hanaprana, Mana, Hana, Manaprana, Hana, Mana, Hanaprana, Boabam, Boabam, Boabam. Kinanda apple stem. Goodbye for now. Ashakawa and au revoir. Oh, P.S. By the way, I wanted to do this and I forgot in the previous, story edition video. So I just wanted to, bring any of your, stresses and transmute them to drop into Ptahalom here off of the tip of this. Just imagine it, you're going in and it's just passing here, and Ptahalom will create the cure of what is needed, and it'll resurface in your environment and or through you, it'll absolve. So just drip, drip, drip.